Hello guys, how's it going? My name is Dalaran, and it looks like Shadowlands has officially been delayed. There's a good chance you guys might have heard a streamer or two call for the big call for Blizzard to delay Shadowlands, with the cause that, well, the expansion in the beta version as it is right now is simply not ready, and with only a month left before the release, something has to be done now. And it looks like Blizzard did the unthinkable, and they decided to delay the expansion to make sure that it comes out right. In this video, I want to break down the actual delay, what it means. We actually do even have the pre-patch date announcement, so at least there's something to hold us over. But also talk about Shadowlands, where it's at, where I think Blizzard needs to focus on in the next few, however many months it's going to take before the release. But they did mention that it will be delayed until later this year. So let's start dissecting this thing bit by bit. They mentioned that the expansion will be delayed later this year in their opening statement. The update on Shadowlands. I want to let you know that we will be delaying the release of Shadowlands to later this year, and while we're still in the process of determining the right new date to launch, we felt it's important to let you know about this change in plans as soon as we could. Too bad for all the people that decided to take time off work for the expansion release. Over the past several months of testing, we made significant progress iterating on and polishing the core features and gameplay of Shadowlands. However, as everything started coming together and we've been listening to and building upon your feedback, it's become clear we need a little more time for additional polish and to balance and iterate on some interlocking pieces, particularly those related to the end game. Blizzard has a commitment to quality. We believe Shadowlands will be something special, and we've heard from many of you who feel the same. In the meantime, we're excited to announce the beginning of October 13th, we will be releasing Shadowlands pre-patch, which lays out a lot of the groundwork for the expansion and includes our revamped character leveling, new player experience on Exile's Reach, and a host of new character customization options. And once we get closer to Shadowlands release, you will be called upon to defend Azeroth against the resurgence of Scourge during our pre-launch event. Thank you for your support and your passion, and for your continued help and feedback as we head towards the finish line. We'll see you in Shadowlands soon. So we don't know when exactly Shadowlands is going to be moved to. All we know is sometime later this year. And I think it's not surprising if, let's say, Blizzard had to announce that it might be in the early 2021, like as soon as the year rounds the corner, maybe in January or so. So it isn't out of possibility. I think they just wanted to push it back, but we don't know if there's going to be more pushback on this expansion. We just don't know. It's been a while since we've seen Blizzard really push back a product to make sure that it's finished, which sounds like a bad thing, but I really do want to give them credit. The fact that they're pushing back the expansion to make sure that it's good, make sure that it's polished before it's ready for release is a good thing. Even though if you, let's say, you might be unhappy with this, it is a good thing. To be honest, hearing this news was a little bit bittersweet, because I am at a point where, while I don't think BFA is the worst expansion, I still would rank WoD as much worse with the selfie camera of patch 6.1. I mean, can you believe a selfie camera toy in a whole patch? I still don't think that BFA has done nearly as anything egregious as that, but the corruptions are getting kind of stale. To be honest, it's just a lot less fun. Just having all the corruptions do things for you, and certain classes not scaling with corruptions, it just feels like we've hit our limit. We've hit the end. We've hit the maximum potential we have, and in comparison to how classes play in beta, the classes in BFA simply just don't feel as fun with all the GCD changes that BFA has that Shadowlands reverted, as well as some of the core key concepts added back into Shadowlands class structure that BFA simply just doesn't have. I mean, when I play the two specs, I feel like I'm playing a new refreshed version of majority of the specs that I enjoy in Shadowlands, and when I go back to play those same builds in BFA, it just feels like I'm reverting back to caveman days. So I was a little bit bittersweet to hear that they will be delaying the expansion, because at this point I think a lot of us are chomping at the bit to get to new content and just do something else than islands and the same dungeons and raids we've done in BFA. But it's good news though that we have finally a pre-patch date. October 13th will begin the pre-patch, which has a variety of different things. Not only are we going to be getting new questing experience with Exile's Reach, we'll be getting the new questing revamp in terms of the level scaling and whatnot. We'll be getting the new class changes available and customization, so I think there's still quite a lot for us to at least enjoy while the expansion is still cooking in the oven. I mean, to me, the idea of playing my same Outlaw rogue in the same dungeon that I've done, just with all the Shadowlands changes, actually sounds quite exciting. Yeah, I still have the essences to rely on and traits, but at least I have slightly changed play style, in terms of the gameplay. Not every spec and class is going to be there, but majority of the stuff that I'm interested in, I think it'll be cool and fresh and exciting to play them again within the pre-patch environment, within those same dungeons, but with different class changes, within the same raids, but with a different talent setup, within same PvP without all those corruptions dominating majority of my damage meters. So I think it'll at least be something that can hold us off. But also with the pre-patch, it does mean that there's going to be a pretty big delay to the actual event of the Scourge attack and the zombie invasion. So with this pre-patch, it doesn't seem that there's going to be anything like that, at least at the very beginning. And maybe Blizzard could even save the Scourge invasion as a surprise in terms of letting us know, hey, Scourge invasion started, the expansion is in a month. So I guess that could be an interesting way for Blizzard to unveil when they are finally ready for Shadowlands in terms of the release date. I think overall Shadowlands has been looking better than BFA, at least in terms of the first patch, in terms of the things there's to do. I think Blizzard has done fairly well in terms of keeping everybody busy if, let's say, it released in its current state. However, there were some aspects that have been getting so much iteration, I just don't think they've had enough time to be tested. Only recently did Blizzard do some massive tuning for the Soulbinds and Covenant abilities, and now it swung the direction of the power gains in a whole another way, at least for the Rogue class, and I wouldn't be surprised if every other spec and class in the game is in a very similar boat. There's quite a lot of iteration still going on there, and while I think Blizzard is, as they decided to commit to, keeping all these Covenants and Conduits, different powers and different unique bonuses and stuff, with also different cosmetic aspects, while they are still trying to balance those things as close to each other, I feel like at least from Rogues they're at least a step closer, but they're not quite perfectly there. So it would be good for a couple more months, however many it takes, for more iteration in that regard until it's pretty good. Another aspect of Shadowlands that I'll probably make a separate video on is the Maw. I think there's a good chance you guys might have seen some parts of the Maw, but there's probably a better chance that you haven't seen anything about the Maw because, well, in fact the Maw is kind of incomplete, or at least it feels incomplete. There's certain aspects of it that don't make sense. You don't really feel like it's an endgame zone in terms of the way the Blizzard has set it up. It doesn't feel like your conventional endgame area. It does not feel like Suramar of Legion in any way, shape, or form. In fact, it feels so different, and it just kind of doesn't feel full. And I think there's still more opportunity for Blizzard to balance the trinkets, as only this week did they become accessible for us to test trinkets that need to be balanced, especially for PvP, but also need to be balanced from PvE perspective as well. So there's still quite a lot that can be done in terms of fine-tuning and polishing up this product. So in the end, I think it is a good idea that Blizzard did delay Shadowlands, as there's still a lot to test. I'll continue making my videos and continue mostly discussing the class aspect and the core design on the classes, as this is going to be a continuous journey for quite a bit longer as it seems, but I'm actually very, very excited. I'm very excited for October 13th pre-patch release, and I'm excited to see what Shadowlands will look like at the end of the release. It can only be so many months because it was supposed to be released in October. There's also November, December in 2020, but of course Blizzard could push it back to 2021. We'll just have to wait and see and be a little more patient. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Let me know what you think about the delay. Are you happy that Blizzard delayed? And if they are going to be doing delay, what do you think is going to be should be the aspect that they really need to work on before the release? What is the most important aspect do you think that they really need to define before the final release? Thank you guys so much for checking out this video. Let me know your thoughts, and I'll see all of you in the next one.